We continue to follow that brush fire right now on Lamentation Mountain in Berlin that so far has burned dozens of acres. Thanks so much for joining us here for the news at 6. I'm Keisha Grant.
And I'm Mike Heideck. Tonight, crews continue to try to contain and even take down these flames. The smoke, as you can see, is widespread. Some residents are feeling like that fire is right next to them.
We have live team coverage tonight. Officials providing an update late this afternoon. We begin with NBC Connecticut's Amanda Pitts joining us live in Berlin with the very latest developments. Amanda.
Yeah, well, Mike, Keisha, it's officially been 24 hours since this fire first started, and you can see it is still going behind me. You can see the smoke in the trees there, creating quite a contrast. It's grown to 80 to 90 acres now, and in these woods are about 45 crews fighting this fire, hoping it burns itself out.
We just found out that we have some help coming in the form of some air support from Maine.
Extra help is heading for Berlin to fight this brush fire that broke out last night on Lamentation Mountain, the apocalyptic site lighting up the sky.
You can smell it and you can see it.
Crews worked all night to put it out to no avail. Today, taking a different approach, containing it and burning it out from inside.
They plan on setting a few backfires to just control some of the vegetation that's left in there and take care of some of that fuel.
It's being called the Hawthorne Fire. The cause is still unclear. The chief saying it started in a remote area high in the cliffside, and they haven't been able to access it. Now help is coming to put it out.
Through an interagency compact with the northeastern states, we were able to secure a forestry unit from the state of Maine that can be here by 9 a.m. tomorrow. So we're working through finalizing that, as well as activating the Connecticut National Guard for their aerial assets with a Chinook and a Blackhawk with a bucket that'll be able to dump water on that we're hoping to have them spun up by Thursday morning, if not sooner.
The fire just a few hundred yards away from a neighborhood, but the chief says no homes are in danger, though residents are a little weary.
Probably around 5:30 or so, my wife noticed out on the deck. She went on the deck and she saw the flames on the hill. She was a little nervous about going to bed. I told her she could go to bed and I'd stay up for a while.
Now, crews here have been using UTVs to access those hard-to-reach areas in the mountain, and in the last few hours, we've learned there's been a crash involving one of those UTVs. The fire chief confirming it involves a firefighter from Wethersfield, and there are injuries. We're hoping to learn more as the night goes on. Mike?
Amanda Pitts joining us live tonight in Berlin. So the impact of this brush fire there is being felt many miles to the south because that smoke continues to travel. And tonight officials are asking you to take extra care when doing any burning outside. And they have warnings about the air quality too. And you can see why. NBC Connecticut's Kevin Geist joining us live from Meriden tonight with some details from where he is. Kev.
Yeah, Mike, it's a tricky situation for anyone living downwind of those fires. Take a look at some video taken from the top of Castle Craig a little bit earlier today. You can see the smoke basically filling an entire section of central Connecticut just west of the Connecticut River Valley. Now, tonight, DEEP officials do have a few warnings and a few asks of residents.
You smelled smoke as if there was a fire nearby.
From Meriden's highest point, the foliage wasn't all that was catching people's eyes.
This was one of our stomping grounds coming up to the castle, but I've never seen anything like that looking out here.
Smoke flowing like a river from Berlin down to at least Hamden, filling central Connecticut early Tuesday.
It's definitely noticeable.
According to DEEP officials, the brush fire in Berlin is the culprit. It's one of at least 5 confirmed brush fires around the state.
I think vigilance is the word for the day.
The state's director of forestry says it's very dry weather, fostering perfect conditions for brush fires.
It is to be taken seriously. And listen to local officials if you're near a fire.
DEEP is asking people to be cautious in the discarding of anything burning like cigarettes or matches and to thoroughly put out any fires, including grills. As the fires burn, DEEP is now watching the smoke.
The biggest nuisance from this is going to be the smoke and the air quality.
They say people under the blanket of smoke should recirculate air through homes and cars and keep doors and windows shut.
Really, for people who have compromised breathing, it's going to be a hardship for some, and we feel for those folks.
Some watching the smoke float from Castle Craig, hopeful for rain soon, but for now, thinking back to an old lesson from a National Forest Service friend.
Smokey the Bear always said only you can prevent forest fires, so be very careful.
And the good news, according to an expert from Yukon, is that the fully grown, those mature trees that are in that area should be okay. They'll sustain a little bit of scarring, but it's mostly that underbrush and leaf litter that's doing the majority of the burning. We're live in Meriden tonight. Kevin Geist, NBC Connecticut News. Guys, back to you.
Kevin, thank you.